Stone Age dogs got a meaty teeth cleaning bone every day, but over time, bones lost the meat. Not meaty bone dog biscuits. They're baked with real beef for a better tasting bone. Meaty Bone brings meat back to the bone.
Dieters' needs are different, so AccuTrim developed 3 different formulas.
I need all the help I can get.
AccuTrim Maximum Strength.
I snack after 3 p.m.
Late Day Strength.
I'm hungry from morning till night.
16-hour. AccuTrim. One is made for you.
They're coming. New improved Dow bathroom cleaner with scrubbing bubbles. It's stronger, 50% stronger. We work even harder, so you don't have to.
Are you for real?
Yeah. You interviewed 7 babysitters?
Just wait. I bet you could write a book.
7?
Well, I wouldn't leave him with just anybody.
No way.
Jamie.
What are you doing with that peanut butter?
Running for president. Cute.
You're so choosy about sitters, and you'll give him that.
Guys, I grew up on this. Deprived child.
Would you stop?
Smells Jeff.
Just smells more like fresh roasted peanuts.
Yeah. It's going to taste more like them, too, right? It tastes more like them.
Peanuttier?
Yeah. Amazing.
Jamie, honey, here.
So tell me, how do you interview babysitters?
Very carefully.
For more fresh roasted peanut taste, choosy moms choose Jif.
Them lemons, they roll, them lemons, they bounce. I even seen a lemon drop. Them lemons smell so fresh and pretty, like the lemon fresh Clorox. Them lemons smell so fresh and pretty, lemon fresh Clorox bleach.
Oh, what people do to clean tough stains from under the rim. 'Cause for some bowl cleaners, that's a tough reach. But not for Lysol toilet bowl cleaner. Its angle neck easily goes under the rim to wipe out tough stains and germs. So look, all you need is Lysol toilet bowl cleaner, the heavyweight with a powerful new angle on cleaning.
We interrupt this program to bring you special bulletin sponsored by Surf Detergent. Rock Credit. What's it like out there?
Dave, it's so hot the microphone is melting. Mom, what do you think of the situation? It's so hot that Dad is sweating buckets.
Some smell has created the sock monster, and it's raining stinky socks everywhere. Our lab technicians may have found clues to the cause of this smell. A most disgusting specimen. Can Surf save the Critic family? Dirty clothes go in. Clean clothes come out. Surf got out the odors.
Bye, Surf now.
Now we can breathe easier. Hope you like our commercial.
If you're a Surf family, call 1-800-451-6679.
Come on now. Yeah. Sing the song now. Yeah. In the daytime. Yeah. All night long now. Something's happening here on ABC.
This dry, dull paneling is a good place to do some serious writing about Old English. It moisturizes, helps prevent drying and cracking, and brings hidden beauty to the surface. Old English, oil or aerosol, a more caring approach to wood care.
Billy Crystal on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Only one of the Lutz twins uses Fruit Fresh. It has vitamin C to help keep fruit looking like the minute it was picked. So she'll always win the blue ribbon. Or will she? For canning, freezing, or serving fresh, use Fruit Fresh.
It's a weather delay.
There are headaches.
How the computer's down.
And headaches. There's aspirin and Anacin. The Anacin aspirin formula relieves headaches better than regular aspirin.
Headache better?
Not just better. Better.
Anacin, better relief.
I might be pregnant. In 3 minutes, I'll know with this. Clear Blue Easy. It's the easiest pregnancy test ever. Just one step and no messy test tubes. Clear Blue Easy. It's the easiest.
I love your skin, the shape it's in. It's softer than it's ever been.
Caress with bath oil leaves skin softer than silk can.
I love your skin fast, 'cause it's caressed.
It was a mystery. They all seemed alike. Which one had the fewest calories? The answer was staring at me. New Ultimate 90, the lowest calories per ounce. Deliciously fruity.
Weight Watchers Ultimate 90. This is living.
With cable. Call 1-800-OK-CABLE.
On the next live, Puerto Rican pop star Nidia Caro performs.
Plus how to get the hot fashion trends for budget prices.
Tomorrow at 9 on Channel 7.
You are about to be knocked over by Tartar Control Aquafresh because it does a lot more. Besides reducing ugly tartar buildup, Tartar Control Aquafresh goes on to also help remove plaque for healthier gums and more. It has fluoride to fight cavities and has the taste that knocks over the leading brand. Get great tartar control, great taste, and a great deal more. Tartar Control Aquafresh.
So you want cake? No, you need cake. Now. Boom. Microwave from Betty Crocker. That's micro as in 4 minutes, rave as in rave reviews. Instant, total gratification. Yeah.
Poor Cinderella can't go to the ball. She's dressed in a droopy diaper that feels all wet. Abracadabra, Cinderella. Kleenex Huggies Super Trim Diapers will sweep you off your feet. Only Huggies has the blue inner layer that helps funnel wetness into the padding and holds it away for unbeatable dryness, plus a softly padded waistband. Ah, Cinderella's wearing Huggies now, and she's having a ball. Huggies, happily ever after.
Sunday.
They told me you were assassinated in Hong Kong.
This is my second life.
You only live twice, Mr. Bond.
I've got you now.
Well, enjoy yourself.
Sean Connery in the classic You Only Live Twice.
Combos presents a small endorsement from someone with a nose for real cheese. Combos. Baked cracker outside, made with real cheese inside.
Combos, bite-sized food, real fast. Combos. Body language, we know your body's language.
Great news! If you're one of the first 50 callers to call Living Well at 1-800-LIVWELL, you'll get a complimentary membership. That's right, be one of the first 50 to call any of the Living Well clubs and get 2 weeks on us. The number is 1-800-LIVE-WELL. So what are you waiting for? You've got nothing to lose except pounds and inches. It's free just by calling 1-800-LIVE-WELL. Hurry! Don't miss out.
Minor feminine itching? With Vagisil, it can be as easy to relieve as a common headache. The medication in Vagisil cream is recognized effective by expert gynecologists and used by millions of women who need fast relief. For minor feminine itching, Vagisil cream. It's that simple.
I'd like to tell you about Vagisil Feminine Powder, the first feminine powder to help control moisture. It lets you feel confidently fresh and dry. Vagisil Powder.
This is me before my first perm and after. It didn't take. Me before my second perm. It took 8 months to grow out. Me before my third perm. Precisely Right by Ogilvy. Risky? Nah. It's got automatic shut-off timing, so Precisely Right can over-perm. This is me with a Precisely Right home perm. So, somebody take our picture.
At Macy's, we've got what you want, and it's all on sale. Now at 20 to 50% savings. A spring and summer clearance. For him. For her. For the whole family. Macy's has your style with 20 to 50% savings throughout the store. It's 3 days only, this Thursday through Saturday, at all Macy's.
Oh my goodness, people. Happy Friday, y'all. I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope everybody had a good week. My week's been interesting. Oh my goodness, man. So yeah, interesting stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and start off by pushing something out of the way. Before I do that, thank you, Okie Crime News, member for 2 months. Appreciate that. And also thank you again to Summer Butterfly for becoming a member for 9 months. Appreciate that. So last night, this live stream took place. And I got to tell you, I didn't get past more than 10 minutes of it. It was just this person. If I've ever seen a cringe lord in my life, it's this person. And normally, I mean, listen, people make videos about me all the time. People do live streams about me all the time. It's no sweat off my sack. Seriously, it really doesn't bother me. But I guess it kind of, I guess this person, because of our past, we, it still kind of bugs me a little bit, but so what I did was, because I wasn't sure, even though I know that this is just an attention-seeking idiot, I decided to, Melissa Bell, you're not wrong. I decided to go ahead and put up a poll in community Shut Up Cherry, and most people voted, because I was going to see if I should go over this or not. And I see my boy Morbid's in the chat. It's good to see you, buddy. And Mistaken Reaper and Electra and Cherry, of course, and all of you diehards that are here. I got to tell you that I'm very, very grateful for you. Now, damn it, Cherry, fuck. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this post down. And let's see. Hold on. Just do that real quick. Sorry, guys. So I decided not to address it. I know it seems like I'm addressing it now, but I'm really not. I'm just addressing the fact that I put up a community post asking, and I saw that there was like 70% voted that I should go over it. And someone sent me something here. And I'm gonna go ahead and show I want to make sure that I don't show this person's because they wanted to stay anonymous. So and I'm gonna read it because this was very good advice and it was exactly what I was thinking. And for someone to message me privately about this and say exactly what I was thinking, I'm grateful for that. So So this says, "Hey Will, I wanted to respond to you in private rather than risk the have people come after me for what I'm about to say." And that's noteworthy right there, okay? That that right there, that that little detail right there, rather than risk people come after me for what I'm about to say. And um see, that doesn't happen here. Uh, not to my knowledge, anyway. It is absolutely and totally frowned upon for anyone to go and start harassing people over personal dumb bullshit, uh, over drama bullshit. Um, I have to tell you that I feel very relieved after doing this channel cleanse that I did, because I just don't want that type of element. And if I go and review that, it's a personal thing, and I'm not interested in getting into personal back and forths with people publicly any more than I've already have. It's really, that's really the most embarrassing thing about it, is that I actually engaged with this person in other people's chats, other people's panels, and it's ridiculous. But I'm going to go ahead and continue reading this, and it goes on to say, that I just had to make that point. Like, you never have to worry about that here, you know like you don't, like, unless you're doing fucked up shit involving the true crime community, as far as cases go, unless you're harassing victims, you're never going to have anybody from my community show up in your chats and troll you. That's just not going to happen. Not over dumb bullshit drama. And so it goes on to say, "I think you should ignore this person because I don't think it's worth it. The fact that she went live about you and makes me think she only did it to gain traffic to her channel because Queen Bee has all these new viewers. She didn't do this to tell her side, in my opinion. She did it to be manipulative to those viewers who don't know who you are. And I think the goal is to to provoke you to create drama through those new viewers. Hopefully that makes sense. It does make perfect sense, actually. The fact that she pulled out old fucking clips and tried to play victim is so obvious too. Don't give her what she wants. Her goal also to probably bait you and make you look like the crazy one. Don't give her that satisfaction of getting the drama she wants and to make you look crazy. This is a clear bait attempt for drama, manipulation, new viewers, and her channel, etc." Now, I agree with everything that she just said right there. That's exactly what that was. It would have been counterproductive of me to address that shit show, cringe show that I saw. And like I said, I only saw 10 minutes of it, maybe. And it was absolutely a cringe fest. And like, she starts singing supposedly, and I just, yeah, I can't. So, to perpetuate this drama, if I'm trying to separate myself from these people, I'm just not going to perpetuate it on my end. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to oblige you in your attempts to continue drama, because that's all you get views on. If you go look at this person's channel, I'm not going to say what their channel is, but those of you who know who I'm talking about, if you go look at her channel, she doesn't even break 300 views for most of the stuff that's actually worth a shit. She only gets the views from the drama. And it's crazy. She has to mention my name to break 1,000 views. And it's pathetic. It's just pathetic. So for me to engage with someone like this, I feel dumb doing it. So I'm just no longer just I will no longer oblige you for this. So I'm just putting that to bed now. I realize that a lot of you wanted me to address it because there are two reasons. Some of you just wanted drama. I understand that. It is entertainment here on YouTube. But others honestly saw through what she was doing in this video or in this live, and wanted to hear my take on it, and call it out because it can be entertaining. I've done it before. But since I've done it before and all this person could do was just dredge up old shit, I'm just not I'm not doing that. Cherry already knows what to do if any of these idiots show up in chat, and we're not going to we're simply not going to indulge these people who have absolutely no depth or scruples in what they talk about and what they actually find to be entertaining. I'm just not going to indulge them anymore. So that's where I'm at. So I just wanted to let you guys know, in regards to the community post that I put up, that's the decision I made. Even though the vote went the other way, I still made the decision because, whatever, I can do that. And the comments were interesting. The comments were sorry, I got a mosquito there and it's killing me right now. It's driving me crazy. The comments were helpful. There was a lot of people who were like, dude, don't even like fucking don't even. It's so dumb. And honestly, I thought that, and yet I felt this need as well to address things that I know to be untrue, and show this person for the liar and manipulator that she is. But the thing is I look at the people who follow her and support her, and I just see them as dumb, as duped, bamboozled, hoodwinked, and that's not the quality of subscriber that I want engaging in my chat with intelligent people such as yourselves. So yeah, that's not that's kind of the point of the house cleaning. So I just want to separate myself from any of the drama bullshit. Seriously, it's just I don't have the taste for it anymore at all, and I don't have the patience. So moving on, we there's a young girl named Layla Santanello who went missing right around the area where Summer Wells went missing. She was reported missing in June, and Cherry will share the details in the chat of her information. There she is already. She is 21 years old, white, female, height 4'10", weight 135 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes, and last seen wearing a white tank top and black leggings, and she was barefoot. Now, I don't know all of the details of the circumstances of her disappearance, but you guys know how I like to do this here. I don't like to speculate too much on what's going on here as far as what happened. That's law enforcement's job. I like to use my platform to simply just put the information out there and hope that somebody keeps their eye out, whoever's watching. If you're anywhere in the southern states, but mainly the Tennessee area, just keep your eye out. Now, yeah, I'm gonna check that out real quick. Let me do that before she deletes it. um so let's just start off with some fun here. This is very funny to me. I don't know what was said. This is a reaction. I keep getting messages saying that this happened. So let's take a look, folks. But now, just to give you a little context, so Layla went missing out of Kingsport, Tennessee, and Betty is doing what she does, which is going and interfering in searches. I looked up the case. I did not see any. I did not see any requests from local law enforcement or the TBI for volunteers to search. I'm gonna guess that they probably don't want that for two reasons. Because you could get hurt. That terrain is very rough. It's the same reason why they didn't want anybody searching for Summer Wells in that terrain. And B, they don't want evidence being tampered with if it's discovered. And we're looking at somebody who actually is proud of herself for once picking up a knife, thinking it was a murder weapon, and resources and time was wasted because they had to go and get her DNA and test her DNA against the knife, and the knife turned out to be nothing. So thank you, Headstones and Headlines. The glare, Ellie, and I'm going to give you a wrench, Headstones. So Ellie, law enforcement searched 320 acres this past week. Asked that no additional volunteers show up to search. Okay, so they did specifically ask that. That's good to know. So thank you for that, Headstones and Headlines.
Hello. So we are live from the water hole. I didn't realize, I knew we were close to it, but as we were driving, doing some work, we saw this and we figured we needed a little break and, just advocate for another little girl.
Thank you, Michelle
that
Macklin.
Brought us here to Tennessee originally over a year ago. And this was the case of Summer Wells. Summer Wells was a little 5-year-old child that went missing on June 15th, 2021, under very much suspicious circumstances. And one of the main things was here at this water hole.
Okay. There's no evidence. Again, people, there is no evidence that there were suspicious circumstances behind Summer Wells's disappearance. When the word suspicious comes up, suspicious derived from the word suspect. That would imply that there are suspects in the case. Now, I know law enforcement said everyone is a suspect, but what they simply mean by that is that they're looking at every possibility. Everyone is someone that they are paying close attention to because their priority is to find this little girl. Grandmaster Sid Sophos, thank you, buddy. The past is where it belongs in the past. It's about the here and now. I completely agree. Thank you, buddy.
This is where she was seen playing and having a good time, while Candace, Grandis, and Hunter decided to stay way up there. According to Hunter's story as to what happened out here was that they were all up there. He describes this day as being normal. So how the day started out in the Summer Wells case was early in the morning. They had
So the little jab that she takes there, and yeah, it's total bullshit. It's not true. Hunter claimed that he was in the water with Summer, as I remember correctly, but I don't believe a fucking thing that kid says anyway. Now, even still, let's just say Betty is speaking the truth here. Let's just indulge her real quick. Betty, Betty, I got to tell you, I don't know anybody. Now, if they're sitting up there watching Summer, I mean, they're watching her. And you tell your little girl, yeah, go play in the water. First of all, kids are usually too scared to go where it's too deep anyway. You can absolutely just watch a child and expect them to just stay more or less in shallow waters, but let her play in the water. And apparently Summer loved the water. So I never had, I mean, I don't know anybody who's frowned upon, at least when I was growing up, swimming in a water hole like that, where someone was criticized for their child playing in the water by themselves with supervision. So I just don't even I don't get it. I don't get what her issue is.
They had a drop off who we deemed Randus, which is Candace's mother, Candace, right? Like, these people don't know how to change names. I don't get it. Candace and Candace, but we call her Brandis just to make sure that there's some.
These people don't know how to change names. Well, you know, it's not uncommon to actually name your child after a parent. It's not uncommon at all. It's not weird. It's not in any way a form of being an example of being uneducated in any way. It's not a redneck thing. It's not anything like that. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't get why what the implication here is, that she says, I can't believe these people don't know how to name someone. I mean, she loves her mom. I mean, you know, maybe Candace's dad wanted to keep that name going and wanted to name their child after her mother. I don't see what the to do is about that.
Some differentiation between their names. And so, anyways, Grandis had to go to the hospital. Apparently, she had a bum knee, and the kids had tweaked it, so to speak, right? I think she was going there to get narcotics. You know, that's the family. They have an elderly woman in their home. They're getting narcotics. That's basically what it is. We heard that Grandis had just seen a doctor previously. She's going to this doctor. It almost sounded a little like doctor shopping, if you ask me. But, you know, who am I? I don't know the ins and outs of that. If that truly is what it is, that's speculation on my part. However, Hunter, Grandis, Candace, and Summer ended up coming here to this water hole. And according to Hunter's story, hey, Guidance, according to Hunter's story, all the adults were way up there. Now, I just counted the steps from that vehicle there to this water edge here, because that's part of Hunter's story. And it took me 50 seconds to get here. 50 seconds from there to here. I walked it, and I've actually.
Okay, genius. Okay. Investigative journalist. You walked it. 50 seconds. You walked it. How long would it have taken you to run? You know, like you would if you saw your child in danger in the water. How long do you think it would take you to run? I mean, we don't expect you to run, Betty. We can see that you are not much of a runner. We get that. But you're sitting here assuming you walked 50 steps. That's really good for us all to know that if you saw a child in danger, you would take your sweet fucking time to go help them. You big dummy. Moron.
Actually made a video of it. I will be dropping that here later today. She was out there swimming. We saw videos from Candace on her TikTok where Summer was out there. That was the only time she was sitting here. According to Hunter, they all were up there. Again, Brandis paying her phone bill, him playing on his phone, talking to Candace. He remember Twisted Tea.
Oh my God, I don't care.
So I'm pretty sure that regardless of whether they told law enforcement officers that Hunter and her were drinking Twisted Tea, we know it was purchased, and we know that all the adults were up there. We know that because they all...
We actually don't know that it was purchased. Hunter said it was purchased, but we don't know that it was purchased. You have you have what a 15-year-old kid told an idiot who went all the way out there to interview him and invested everything in what this kid said with his mom, who has animosity, personal animosity with Candace. None of that shit, all that shit would get torn down in court. But because Chris fucking McDonough, he interviewed a 15-year-old child, and everything that he says must be gospel. Fucking dummy.
They all said they were up there. At some point in time, they were all up there, not with the 5-year-old child that was in the water alone down here. At some point, Hunter turned around from way up here and didn't see Summer in the water. So he starts, not Candace, not Grandis, but Hunter, the 15-year-old boy that was with them, ends up walking. He says it wasn't, it wasn't a power walk or anything like that. I think he said maybe.
Oh my God, bro.
You're a magnificent cunt.
Maybe a brisk walk, but just a normal walk. Maybe he was walking a little briskly. I walked briskly from my car out here. It took me 50 seconds, 50 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I counted it all out as we walked.
1, 2, 3. Look, I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit! I what comes after 4?
It'll be coming out shortly. 50 seconds. So he's way over there. Doesn't see Summer. Doesn't know how long Summer was under the water. Takes 50 seconds to get to this river edge. So we already know at least one thing. She was under that water for at least a minute. That we know of. So now we dissect his statement a little bit more.
Really? We know that? She was under that water for at least a minute because a 15-year-old kid told Crush fucking McDonough. So that's what we know. Okay.
Now, after 50 seconds of up there, he comes out and gets in the water. Remember, he says, Summer, can you hear me? Summer, can you hear me? Remember that statement from Hunter? Remember the statement of him reaching down and pulling her out of the water and hitting her on the back? That sounds like somebody that thought she was drowning. If he says he didn't think she was drowning and that she was fine. But this is the facts of the case. The facts are 3 adults were up there. It was Hunter that noticed that Summer was not above water down here. He, and only he, and he alone came down here to check on Summer. He didn't see her. She was not above the water at that time. I went on in this video to explain a personal experience I had as an 18-year-old with my best friend, one of my best friends at the time, and her son drowning. No fault of her own. She left the child.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The child got out, got in the pool. I walked you guys and explained that to you in this video. I have not dropped the video. I'm not going to tell you what's really other than what may be in the video. I'm not going to reiterate.
Okay, smartass. Let's see what this mystery's all about.
Everything that's in the video. Otherwise, you don't have any reason to watch it. And I can tell you that there is a point that a person can look normal before the turn for the worse sets in. I know that for a fact because I had that experience with this young child, this toddler, when I was 18 years old.
I call bullshit. Yo, seriously.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
She's describing a Phil Collins song is what she's doing.
And I know because I was friends with his mother, I know that there is a turn for the worse because I saw it. So I keep wondering, and I keep coming back to this spot because this spot has always had me feel a little different inside when I'm out here, just like Ben Hill Road. I don't get this feeling. I really don't. I don't get this feeling when I'm anywhere else on this case. We just stopped at the hippie house. We were going to do some videoing at the hippie house. And I said, yeah, you know, really, what's the point? You know, 2 years ago, yeah, it was important 2 years ago because it was part of the timeline. But really, at the end of the day, it's insignificant.
It was important 2 years ago because it was part of the timeline. It's not important now, even though Summer is still missing and she considers herself an attorney and a investigative reporter. It's not necessary. It's not important anymore. You know, I mean, 2 years ago, you know, but it's not important anymore, even though she's still missing, this investigative reporter.
Part of the timeline in my mind. I don't know if it was just for them to be seen at certain places at certain times, or if they truly thought Summer was okay. You know, a lot of people thought of the heat stroke, but here's some stuff that we learned that we did not know.
Stop! This is Ken.
Here are a few things that we did not know at the time. We did not know that Candace possessed with her the bathing suit that Summer was in, the outfit she changed Summer in. She had everything that we had pictures of Summer being in. So when Summer disappeared, was she naked? I mean, I'm just curious. Oh, hey, Justice for All.
What?
Yeah, we were out here covering Layla Santanello and
okay, hold on.
Decided to come back to the spot. And you know, now we have a little bit more information than we once did. You know, we have well, Justice for All possessed with her that we learned that we did not know at the time. Here are a few things that we did not know at the time. We did not know that Candace possessed with her the bathing suit that Summer was in, the outfit she changed Summer in. She had everything that we had pictures of Summer being in. So when Summer disappeared, was she naked? I mean, I'm just curious. Oh, hey, Justice for All. Yeah, we were out here covering Layla Santanello and decided to come back to the spot. And you know, now we have a little bit more info.
You know that Summer disappeared from her home, right? Like, I mean, you know that. I mean, we all know it, right? Summer disappeared from her home. So she got home from the water hole. And on the way home, there is photographs and video of Summer sleeping in the back of the car wearing clothes. So let's just say that wasn't there. Is it so far-fetched to think that, I don't know, mom changed her clothes when she got home, took off the wet bathing suit, changed her clothes? So there's no change of clothes. That's not happening. Just because Candace had the bathing suit in her possession, which, you know, it's her kid's bathing suit. Super suspicious, right? So she had her kid's bathing suit, but Summer must have been naked, even though she's even wearing a jacket. Not only is she fully clothed in this photograph coming home from the watering hole, but she's wearing a jacket. Probably because she was cold from being in the water. You know, keeping her kid warm. Man, that's super suspicious. So are you pulling a Ryan Upchurch here and saying that the picture was taken some other time? I don't, what are you implying here? I don't understand. I mean, this is the dumbest covering of Summer Wells that I've ever seen, like from anybody so far. I mean, this is by far, bar none, the dumbest assessment of this case that I've heard yet. To naked jacket. Wow.
Information than we once did. You know, we have, well, we know that they haven't been arrested yet. We know Summer Wells hasn't been found. We know that Fred Hill's in jail trying to blame this on a cotton to get himself a plea deal so he can walk on his poor behavior, and he just doesn't have a whole lot of information to give, or does he? Because, you know, at the end of the day, out of all the people on Ben Hill Road, right now, the only person in jail is Fred Hill. You know, we know law enforcement picks up people on unrelated charges just to hold them in jail. Do they believe that Fred Hill might be responsible for this?
We know that that's what they do. Really? We know that that's what they do. I spoke to Don Wells directly on this channel. I spoke with Don Wells, and the entire time that he was in jail, and you tried to say that they were holding him so that he could flip. Critical K's dumbass said the same thing, that they were holding him so that they could flip him, but you can't violate someone's rights like that. I mean, that's not what he was in jail for. He was in jail for violating his probation. So the judge was like, I'm going to give you this much time in jail to give you a chance to think about what you've done. Period. Only one time did anybody come in that entire time. According to Don Wells, only one time did law enforcement go in there and interview him in regards to Summer or ask him questions. Only one time. I mean, which all that does is show me that law enforcement was doing their job. Period.
For this, I'm not sure. You know, we know the process, though. We've seen it before. So that could be a telltale sign. But with this case, I don't know, because it never will change the fact of Don and Candace's behavior. Now, there's been rumors going around that that he was moving, which I think it's not really rumor, it's fact at this point, that Fred Hill was actually moving vehicles the day that Summer went missing. And it is alleged, this is the rumor, that Candace.
Now, right here, admittedly spreading rumors, which is what we know she does. Another thing is this Fred Hill guy. You know, I couldn't tell you the first fucking thing about him. I couldn't tell you the first fucking thing about this Fred Hill guy. You know why? Because I don't pay attention to anything that isn't officially confirmed by law enforcement. Because all of it is rumor. Anything that is not released or confirmed by law enforcement is rumor. Period. So I don't pay attention to Fred Hill. I don't pay attention to fucking Jody Sue. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I don't know anything that's being said about these things. The only people that talk about these things are the people that me and Morbid like to troll, like Prayer Garden. Right? We love to troll these people because we don't give a fuck about what they're saying. We just know that they're spouting out a bunch of bullshit. Shit that just doesn't matter, so we troll them, and it's fun. So I don't give a fuck about this Fred Hill person because he's irrelevant until law enforcement says he isn't. Period.
Put Summer in one of those vehicles he was moving unbeknownst to Fred. That's a rumor I heard. I have not been able, obviously, to corroborate that. So we can't say it's fact. It is just rumor.
None of it's fact.
But it might make sense. It might make sense. I don't know. We do know that Candace and Don stopped cooperating with law enforcement back on March 1st, 2022, when Ronnie Lawson came forward and said, Don.
Now, we all know that that's not true. Okay. I don't care what Ronnie Lawson said. Now, I know that kind of contradicts what I just said about confirming law enforcement confirming something. Ronnie Lawson, the sheriff of Hawkins County, said that in a statement to the press, while being interviewed, said they're not cooperating and they lawyered up. We know that's not true, because how the fuck is Candace or Dawn going to be able to afford an attorney? And the only way that they're going to be provided an attorney by the court is if they're charged with a crime. They haven't been charged with a crime. So that would imply that they had to actually go out and get an attorney. And there's no fucking way that if they had an attorney, they would have been going on every fucking YouTube channel, intoxicated and screaming N-words and doing the fucking dumb shit that they've been doing all over YouTube since Summer's gone missing. There's no fucking way. Their lawyer would have been like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Period. So that takes away the credibility of what Ronnie Lawson said. Now, what his reasons were for saying that, I don't know. His reasons for saying that could have been to put pressure on them. I don't know. But so far, there's literally no evidence that Dawn and or Candace had anything to do with Summer's disappearance. There's no evidence of it.
Dawn and Candace are no longer cooperating with us. They lawyered up. That's what they said. They lawyered up.
But we know that they didn't.
We know that Summer Wells.
We know that they didn't. We know that they don't have lawyers. There's no way. They can't afford lawyers. They could barely afford to live right now. Thanks to you, by the way. Thanks to your dumbass. They no longer can afford. They can't get work, because you and your crew of dumbass morons showed up to his job and deliberately got him fired. And it was all over the news. And so Don couldn't find work in a local area anymore and had to go elsewhere to try to find work. And then last time I talked to him, he had a slip disc, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But if he's not working, he can't afford a lawyer. They don't have a lawyer. And since you know so much about the law, as I said before, you would know that they only get a court-appointed attorney if they're charged with something. Period.
Was missing, and then about 30 days later, they removed the boys from that home. Here's the kicker.
What's the kicker?
And if you're watching, I can't answer the phone when I'm on a live because it's not a normal live. It's a
phone
just
live.
Straight YouTube. So it doesn't give me an opportunity to bring you in. And if I answer the phone, then I can't. Then I can't talk on my live.
You can't answer the phone because you're on your phone.
So give me a minute, and as soon as I wrap up here, I'll give you a call back. What was I saying?
Let's get those.
So but 30 days later, the boys were taken away from the parents. This is huge. This is crucial. That means that in a month later, they determined that the story and the information that Don and Candace gave them was garbage. It was garbage. And therefore, they knew that at least the appearance of impropriety was relevant and prevalent when it came to Don and Candace Wells. Okay, so they ended up removing those boys. Now, in a case where you have a missing child, it's not automatic that law enforcement removes the other children. And here's a prime example. Brandy Neal, Michael Monkey Vaughn's mother. Her son disappeared. A lot of people pointed the finger at Tyler. And I have to be honest with you, Tyler was exhibiting some, red flag behavior. But I also explained to my audience the experience I had in another case, the Stephanie Sheffield case, where her roommate, he felt guilty, so guilty. He was doing things that were putting up red flags, but he had nothing to do with the case. It was just the internal guilt he felt of, they're going to blame me for this. that made him start acting weird. So I explained that to my audience, that this could very well be what Tyler was going through, and why he was giving, seeming to be off put and, distance, is probably because his son disappeared on his watch, and he has major grief over that. This family, Don and Candace, we didn't get that grief from them. We didn't get, and just show you that they didn't get their other child taken out of their home. The Vaughns didn't. Brandy Neal didn't, right? You know who did? Don and Candace Wells got their children taken away from them. And everybody has poured money and everything at them, even so much as to pay their child support. You know what child support is?
So
child support.
Okay. Yeah, please enlighten us. I can't wait for this, but I got to tell you, one of my proudest troll moments was when I raised money for Don Wells's commissary in jail. Man, that pissed off the trolls so bad. That pissed off these idiots so bad. They were so mad that my man had all the little Debbie. All the little Debbie. I love it. Like, and here's the thing. It's like, they were like, how could you do that? How could you do that? Well, again, A, there's no evidence that he's guilty of a crime. And B, the fact that I performed a kind act for someone else, doesn't matter who they are, made you so mad, just brought me so much pleasure. It just brought me so much pleasure. Performing a simple, kind act for someone, anyone. Like, it was just, and the truth is again, I don't know if Don is guilty or innocent. Based on what I've seen, I'm going to say so far, I'm going to assume he's innocent. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I know he was at work, but I don't know what happened. But I mean, it's just very funny to me that made everyone mad. I mean, even like I had no trouble at all, no moral hang up with sending this guy money while he was in jail. None at all. I think we raised over like $600 or something. I think 600 was like the limit. And I think we like hit that threshold right there. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing. It was an absolutely beautiful thing.
Is for people to show that they can take care of their own children, right? When you have your child removed from your custody and they give you a $10 a month bill for child support, it's just to see if you have the minimal requirements to take care of a child, and you got somebody else paying.
That's not how child support works, stupid. Child support is set based on your income. Period. That's it. They assess how much money that you pull in to your household, and based on that amount is what they set the child support to. I mean, that's it. I don't know. Like, where are you getting this from? That makes no sense.
Paying for it, and you want to go and get your kids back, and you don't want to do parenting classes, you don't want to stop drinking, you don't want to stop boozing, and then you want to complain that somebody's stealing your kids? You have got to be kidding me.
I mean, here's the thing about that is I didn't hear them complaining at all. I've heard them complain that they miss their kids. But I've never heard Don or Candace like act as though there was some conspiracy against them to have their kids taken away and they were framed or anything like that. At least I never heard it. When I spoke to Don, he seemed like he was taking accountability for, whatever happened. He just wants to do what he has to do, whatever he can to get them back, and it's difficult for him to do so simply because he couldn't work at the time. And it seems as though, because I pleaded with them. I was like, man, I pleaded with him and said, just please stop going on people's YouTube channels. Because every single time you show up on somebody's YouTube channel, these idiots like her and like Justin Jaundice for All, like Prayer Garden, like these idiots now have more shit to talk about. They have more content, more of your words to twist and use against you and perpetuate more rumors, and rumors that are going to eventually end up on the other end of a TBI tip line. And what we have to keep in mind, folks, is whenever you call a tip line in regards to a missing person or in regards to a suspect being on the loose, anything of that nature where they're asking for tips, they have to investigate every single lead. And I'm not getting the impression that in this very rural area in Tennessee, that the law enforcement agencies there have that many resources, have enough resources to cover all of these stupid rumors and speculation that are coming through and flooding them, flooding their phone lines. They just don't have the resources to cover it all. And the TBI has addressed and directly blamed internet bullshit for the reason why they don't have any credible leads, because they have to investigate every single lead, even if it sounds the craziest in the world. If you call into that tip line, they have to investigate it. They have to look into it. Meanwhile, Summer is somewhere, hopefully, if she's alive, somewhere just hoping that somebody comes and gets her. And the only people qualified to do that are the ones that you guys are distracting with your bullshit rumors and speculation.
You have got to be kidding me. I can tell you right now, this is a poor state. This is not a wealthy state. Tennessee is not a wealthy state. We see it all over the place. There may be some wealthy parts of this state, but this is not a wealthy state. I'm sure that they can find better uses of money than having to pay for 3 additional heads that they didn't need to pay.
Yeah, they could absolutely use their money for better things than having your idiot followers calling the local humane society and complaining and caring for you, and doing that with the TBI tip line as well because of the bullshit rumors that you spin. Yes, I agree with you. TBI, the state, could be doing better things with their money than what you are causing them to have to deal with and spend money on and resources.
Pay for because these parents can't handle their business. That they can't take care of their children. That they're too busy drinking, boozing, and using to give a damn about making sure their children are bathed and fed other than frozen pizzas. That's the reality of it. And people came to support that nonsense. They came out to support that garbage. And I'm sorry. They have never taken care of one child that they have given birth to.
See, but here's the thing. Even if what she's saying is true, Betty doesn't get to criticize parents because she's not a parent. She doesn't know anything. Like, let's just imagine what kind of parent Betty would be if she considers this her job. Think about that for a second. If she considers this her job and she's relying on everyone else to support her, the people that she yells at and says, hey, you know, like you the work we do, it costs money and you need to send me money because this stuff isn't free. You know, with her bullshit Amazon wish list and all that kind of shit. What kind of mother would she be with the attitude that she has towards life, with that sense of entitlement? What kind of parent would Betty be with the sense of entitlement that she has?
None of them. Don had 2 children years ago taken away. Candace had 2 children years ago taken away. She took a shotgun out and almost blew the social worker's head off. Social worker's head off.
Now, is there a police report on that? I'd love to see that, because that's the first time I'm hearing that. Is that a rumor? I'm betting it's a rumor, because I feel like you would be in jail. I feel like Candace Bly would be in jail if she pointed a shotgun at a social worker. I mean, there's got to be a report on that somewhere, because I'd love to see it. Betty, did you see that? I'm betting you didn't.
Off. Come on. And you want to go and protect them? Did you see the squalor they were living in? Let me tell you something. If any person wants to support that and wants to give them a pass on the condition of their house, that means that you're living just like them. I'm sorry. There's a difference between being poor and being nasty.
Okay. Again, no. Just because someone has empathy and someone says, hey, how you live your life is how you live your life, doesn't mean that they live in a mess. I mean, they might, but what are you talking about? What kind of shit is that? That you're sitting here saying that if you defend them for living in a mess, that you live in a mess too. Not necessarily. Could just be that they're not judgmental assholes like you. I mean, that's all that means.
Just because you're poor does not mean you got to be nasty. My family is poor. I have poor parts of my family. My mama grew up with
And I would love to know how any of this has anything to do with Summer's disappearance. I mean, I would love to know. I'd love to know how a messy house has something to do with Summer's disappearance. Unless Summer, at 5 years old, was a neat freak and was like, fuck this, I'm out. Maybe, but that's a little far-fetched. But I mean, I don't see that happening. I don't see Summer being 5 years old and being like, man, this is some repugnant shit. I'm out. I just don't see it happening.
My aunts and stuff, they grew up almost dirt floor poor. Almost dirt floor poor. There wasn't a stick of dust in that house. And they lived out in the country where dust was a common thing. There's a difference between being poor and dirty and nasty. So I don't want to hear that they just don't have money. I know a lot of people.
Bro, didn't you go live one morning and say, I woke up today with fucking chocolate stuck to my ass? Like, who are you calling dirty, bro? You woke up one day, went live, it was like, man, I woke up, I fell asleep with a bunch of fucking food and shit in my bed, and I woke up with chocolate all stuck to my ass. Like, and you're calling other people dirty? The fuck are you talking about?
That are literally negative. They can't even buy their prescription right now, but you know what they don't have? They don't have cockroaches in their home. They don't have rats in their home. They're not having 15, 18 dogs running loose and having roaches in the dog food, you know? That's nasty. And people support that and actually want to put children back into that condition. Shame on you. Don't you ever, and I'm sorry, people get bent because I'm
not saying, hey, you don't see me all white knighting for Don and Candace to have their kids back right now, because it's not up to me. I figure if CPS or Child Services took the kids out of the home, they probably had a good reason for it. And I'm rooting for them to get their shit together so that they could get their kids back. Absolutely. Kids should always be with their family, for sure. But if there's actual reason why the state feels that those kids should not be in that home, then it is what it is. I'm not sitting here going, "Oh my God, those kids were unfairly taken from Don and Candace." I don't know. It's child services job to fucking determine that. And if they took the kids, they probably had a reason for it. You guys know how I feel about accountability. I feel like Don and Candace, should just get their shit together so that they can get their kids back. I'm rooting for them to get their shit together and get their kids back. But at the same time, I'm really not rooting for it because it's none of my fucking business. That's their family. It's not mine. All I really give a shit about is that law enforcement finds Summer Wells. That is all I really give a fuck about. The rest of that shit, none of my business. None of my fucking business. And it's none of yours either.
I'm a bold person and I just tell it like it is. But don't you ever come to me and tell me that you're in it for children when you seriously want to have those boys back with the Wells. And you see the condition of the Wells. Every time we see them, they're drunk. Every time we see them, they're using. Look at that black eye Candace has. You think that that is a home that a child needs to be raised in? If that is your answer, you, my friend, are the problem.
Bro. That right there is the face of someone who inflicts black eyes on people. And there's police reports to prove it. That right there is someone who threatened cops without pants on because she was hammered drunk. Now, granted, she doesn't have any kids, thank God. But I mean, you don't get to sit here and criticize people for A, being drunk, or B, being violent. Like you lost that privilege. You lost that. You don't get to do that.
Problem. Don't sit here and say nothing about Bullhorn Betty. Because I don't condone any of that. I don't condone any of that.
No, you just, it's not that you condone it. You live it. You've done it. What are you talking about?
That. These were shit parents. And they lied. And I don't know what happened out here.
Nothing happened out there. Nothing fucking happened out there.
I don't know whether to believe Hunter, to believe Candace, to believe a little bit of each.
When it comes to missing people, okay? When it comes to missing people, you guys have heard me say this a bunch of times, and you're going to hear me say it a lot more. When it comes to missing people, spinning the narrative that missing person is deceased, no longer with us, spinning that narrative is very dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. The reason why that's extremely dangerous is because what that does is it more than subliminally influences people to not look for her. It influences people to not keep their eye out for her if they may or may not see her. She could be in another state. She could be somewhere close to you right now, whoever you are in the chat watching. It is very dangerous when there's no evidence to indicate that she is deceased to spin the narrative that she is, because people will subconsciously stop looking. They won't keep their eye out for it. They're just walking around with the idea in their head that she's gone. And that is the worst thing that you can do when it comes to a missing person. She's not doing anything that is productive in finding this child. The best thing that a YouTube creator can do with their channel when covering a missing persons case is to assume that they are alive. It is to inspire hope in your audience that that person is alive. Because otherwise, people aren't keeping their eyes peeled. They're not keeping their ears to the grindstone. It's very, very important that we do not lose hope that Summer is out there alive, because we have no evidence to the contrary.
Neither. But if you ask me, I don't think that we're cow, mind you, right past that car right there. That's a horse farm that has mules, horses, other livestock. I don't know how comfortable I would feel about my 5-year-old child swimming in that runoff. You understand that that's what happens. If we go around here, you'll see how high that those stables are. So when it rains, guess what? The rain goes downhill. It doesn't go uphill. And guess what's the lowest part of this? Right here.
What the
So if you
fuck?
don't think that their bio waste up there from those animals, is it coming here? I can tell you, last year I came here and I got in this water. And when I got in this water, it was disgusting. There is literally 5 feet of leaves and muck just in this first 2 feet of the water. When I got in there, and it...
Bro.
I'm retarded?
Yes, Betty.
It started moving just naturally from my feet, just moving on the bottom, which was so disgusting. The smell. I can't describe the smell that came out of this water. The smell. I won't ever go back in that water. I remember we had, I think Dolly was out here. We had, oh Lord, it was a lady and her, I remember her name forever and ever. Amen. She's the gal that adopted Yucky, which was Summer Wells' dog Lucky. That she couldn't say Lucky, she called him Yucky, and she adopted Yucky, and we had Toaster Oven out here. I think I know the one sister was Sherry, but she came with her, and they brought and put those little duckies all from Indiana or Illinois, where they came from, all the way here. They were really sweet ladies. Anyways, we were all out here just trying to, because we heard that there was a cell phone thrown out here. So Dolly was out here with his snorkel gear. I just wanted to feel what it was like on the bottom of this.
That was the funniest shit fucking ever, bro. I'm glad she brought that up. Dolly out there with his fucking snorkel and his flip flop and his fucking fins, and did nothing but come out fucking smelling like shit. That's it. Panda, you're gonna fuck my shit up. Panda, come on. Jesus.
Stop it. Get some help.
This water, and I will never do that again. When we got out of here, I'm telling you, we felt like we had crap crawling on us. It was disgusting. I wanted to literally bleach my body. And they had a 5-year-old girl out here.
I mean, but you've got the tub to do it. We saw it. We saw the tub that you fucking blast in your hair. Like, I mean,
here by herself swimming in this crap. And you can see, I mean, this is all logs that she could have tripped on and everything. This is a huge tree. Look at all these trees. Let me undock you guys just for a second. Let me undock you. Look at that. That right there is all up under this water. This is what Summer had to walk on. If she slipped, got her.
Jesus fucking Christ, lady. Jesus, you are the worst Karen I've ever seen, bro. Like, seriously. Like how I mean, it shows that you sit here and you call yourself a Florida person and but let's just be fucking honest here. Um let's just be honest. Like for you to Karen a natural body of water and a child swimming in it shows what kind of childhood you had. Very, very, very sheltered. Very sheltered. I mean, if you grew up in the South, this was Saturday, homie. This shit was fucking Saturday. Period. That's it. What are we doing Saturday? We're gonna go fucking swim in this dirty ass fucking water and step on rocks and twigs while we're in there. That's just how it was. It's just how it was. Bro, look at that face, bro. Look at that shit. Right. And exactly. That was Summer, man. Summer loved walking around barefooted. Summer loved being in the water. That's not child abuse. That's letting a kid be a kid.
Got her foot stuck. Oh, hey, Angela. Nice to see you, love. I can hardly read the thing. This is the crap that's under the water right here.
Oh, my God, dude. That's fucking killing me right now.
Oh, hey, is what Summer had to walk on. If she slipped, got her foot stuck.
Dude, if she got her foot stuck, like, I mean, look at that. If she got her foot stuck under one of those things, you know what she'd be doing? Standing ankle deep in water going, my foot's stuck, Mom. Can you help me get my foot unstuck? What are you talking about? How's she going to drown? What are you talking about?
Oh, hey, Angela. Nice to see you, love. I can hardly read the thing. This is the crap that's under the water right here. This is not safe for a child unattended. And when we were out here once before, we were talking to another lady that was bringing her son up here to fish, and we asked her, you know.
Dude, this swimming hole is so fucking insignificant to the case. It is not where she disappeared from. She disappeared from her home. And yes, she was fully clothed because we saw the picture that was taken right before they got home. Stopped, got some milk, got some stuff, fell asleep in the car. Grandma Candace said that she was planting flowers in a pot with her until she got bored and wanted to go inside. And that was the last time they saw her. Now, we don't know what the boy saw, and we're not going to know what the boy saw. We're never going to know what the boy saw, by the way, people. But that's the key. The most information that you're going to get that's going to help understand what happened to Summer is whatever the boys can account for. But we don't know what happened. We don't know what they saw. We don't know what we have no idea because we can't talk to minors. Minors are not, whatever they tell the police is always going to be protected. It's always going to be, they're going to be protected. And I guarantee you, if you have half a brain, I promise you that all of those kids had forensic interviews conducted. They sat there with a professional who is trained in interviewing children to get information, not interrogating, mind you. You don't interrogate kids, but they conduct what's known as a forensic interview. And I promise you that has happened. I guarantee it's happened. It's stupid and ignorant to assume it hasn't.
You know, how do you feel about your your child going in this water? And she said, absolutely not. They didn't mind fishing in it, but they definitely wouldn't submerge their body in it, you know? So I did get some content, some videos out here. I just wanted to come out and come live. You know, this was really a sad case. It's still an ongoing case. We're still hoping that there's justice for Summer Wells.
Okay. See, again, justice for Summer Wells and trashing the parents implies that she's no longer with us. And that is dangerous. You cannot sit here and say that you are Team Summer when you are assuming that she's dead. Okay? It's very, very, very dangerous to do that with your platform full of ignorant fucks. It's extremely dangerous to do that.
We're still hoping that the fight is still on. I'm really disappointed in Hawkins County and all their shenanigans and all the corruption and all their politicians. There are a lot of politicians that have.
Wow. But I mean, we know for a fact that Ronnie Lawson, the sheriff of Hawkins County, we know for a fact because he said it like it was gospel, right? That they lawyered up and stopped cooperating. We know they didn't lawyer up. But I mean, it was gospel then, but now Hawkins County is engaging in shenanigans, right? And they're not doing anything to get justice for Summer, according to you. They're focused on finding her. That's it. I went to the gas station down the street like 2 days ago. Again, saw on the lotto machine, Amber Alert, Summer Moon Utah Wells, her description. That's right here on the bottom. They're still actively looking for Summer. But it's more difficult for them to do it when we have idiots like you spinning narratives and making people basically, well, not making people, but influencing people with dumb narratives that are going to call TBI and make ridiculous claims that they have to look into. They have to investigate when they don't have the resources. Because as you said, Betty, yourself, Tennessee's not a rich state, is it? So what the fuck makes you think that they have the budget and they have the resources to follow up on all of your stupid fucking theory leads?
That have been charged with corrupt type stuff, drugs, everything in Hawkins County. It's a shame. It's disgusting to me. Get your act together, Hawkins County. Get your act together. Because you know what? Summer Wells doesn't need this garbage. Summer Wells doesn't need this garbage. She needs people that are focused on her case. But I am terrified that at this point, this case is cold. And what really upsets me about this case,
it's not cold,
is that all this corruption in Hawkins County, I wish TBI would take over this case. Enough is enough.
TBI is involved in the case. Shanae, thank you so much. Glare, the more bruises, scrapes, cuts, and dirt my kids had on them, the happier they were. Doesn't make you a bad parent. Just makes your kids kids. Exactly. And toughens them up too, man. Like, I mean, there was a time where your kid would trip and fall, get a scrape, cry, and then you'd be like, bro, oh my God, I think we're going to have to amputate. And then make the kid would just laugh. Be like, yeah, okay, you're right. It's not that bad. And then they'd run off and play again. And then, you know, I mean, dude, I come from a time where we used to jump our bikes. Like we would make ramps and jump our bikes. And then you run home and tell your parents about it. Your parents didn't go, oh my God, you're doing what? Parents would be like, how high'd you get? How high'd you get? Did you get higher than the other kid? That's how it was. That's how it was. And this is somebody who tries to tell everybody that they're too sensitive. It's just bizarre, man. Thank you, Shanae. I appreciate that.
Enough. We want answers for baby Summer Wells. We need TBI to start taking over this case. We need, I guarantee you give this case over to TBI and let them run their case, because here's what we learned with the Gilgo Beach murders, right? What did we learn with the Gilgo Beach murders? Why wasn't it solved sooner? Because that stupid commissioner in New York City would not play nice with the FBI. You know, one thing that we heard from the main detective in this case?
Listen, I'm a patriot, okay? I love America. I love how America is supposed to work. Not necessarily how it does work, but what it's designed to do, okay? So when a state is handling whatever it needs to handle, because this is supposedly somebody who wants less government, right? This is somebody who's a big Trump supporter, right? So when a state is handling something and the FBI is assisting and not taking over the investigation, I like that. As long as they're doing okay, I like it. But when you start saying dangerous things like the FBI needs to take over this investigation, well, what you're doing is rooting for the fundamental details that make America America. We are individual states. Each state gets to govern itself. You bring the federal, you bring the federal entities involved, and then you start having a problem. Start having a problem with freedoms. I'm telling you, when I was living in Knoxville, during COVID, I was living in Knoxville, and our mayor is Glenn Jacobs. You will know him better as the Big Red Machine Kane from the WWE. Okay? Big Red Machine. This guy wrote an open letter to Senator Biden, posted it on Twitter, and was like, any mandates that you try to implement, and we're talking about county, not even state, county, any mandates that you try to implement, I have to for the sake, I'm going to speak up for my county and respectfully decline that we're not going to follow your mandates. I'm going to run my county the way I need to run my county. So we just weren't having the fucking whole COVID bullshit. Like, we played along for a little bit, and then it got stupid, and then he still is the mayor. Burden of proof. But yeah, we were like, okay, we'll play along and do whatever. We'll wear the masks and, close the businesses and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And then it just got ridiculous. And Glenn Jacobs was like, yeah, we're opening shit up. Period. That's it. We're opening shit up. This is dumb. So I feel proud and comfortable as an American when each state, each county, each city has its own power, where the feds cannot interfere with that. That's actually what makes America America. One of the many things that makes America America. And I love that. And I support that. So when I hear this person who goes to Trump rallies, a man who wants less government, and then hear her talk about how she wants federal intervention in cases where it's not necessary, I question what she actually wants.
Well, I'm not used to working with all these people. I just wish they would just leave us alone. Right? We heard that. I mean, that was paraphrasing. That wasn't as direct.
Wait. You know what? You know what I got to do, y'all. You know what I got to do.
Go Beach murders. Why wasn't it solved sooner? Because that stupid commissioner in New York City would not play nice with the FBI. One thing that we heard from the main detective in this case
Well, I'm not used to working with all these people. I just wish they would just leave us alone.
Right? We heard that.
Well, I'm not used to working with all these people. I just wish they would just leave us alone. With all these people, I just wish they would just leave us alone. To working with all these people, I just wish they would just leave us alone.
Right? We heard that. I mean, that was paraphrasing. That wasn't his direct or verbatim response, but that was basically what it was. What's that guy's name? It wasn't the one. It wasn't a guy that we met with. Like, we met with his boss. We met with that guy's boss when we sat down with law enforcement here over 2 days back when we came back. We first came here for our very first fact-finding mission, and we turned all over everything we found over to law enforcement. That's how we work. I don't know what all is going on with YouTube, and I guess because they think it must be true, right? So they don't really know. That's what makes them unsuccessful and what makes us successful out here doing this. But we turned all that information over to law enforcement. We believed Hunter knew more than he said. Block him and move on. Thank you for making me special. I'm glad to know that I rent a day of your space, and not only your space. Like, I bet you dream about me, baby. I bet you're thinking of how can you get my attention today? Well, guess what? I really don't care about you. I wish you would just go away. If you were a fly and I had a fly swatter, smash, baby. Smash. So, at the end of the day,
you haven't been smashed in years. Stop it.
At the end of the day, Summer Wells, I truly believe, is no longer with us. I don't believe that she was sold.
See what I mean? Fucking moron.
I don't believe that anybody else did this. Even if we did assume that it was somebody other than the family, let's say Fred Hill, right? He lived around the corner. He's a Class A dirtbag, drug addict, piece of garbage, deserves to be in prison type of guy. Okay, let's say it's him. Let's say it's all him. Okay, nothing to do with Candace, Grandis, or Don. They had nothing to do with it. It's all Fred Hill. Can you explain to me why the behavior of Don and Candace happened, why they refused to go look for their child, why they refused to do any type of...
Bro, hey, dummy. When you actually, if you actually followed the case and listened to all the facts, Don and Candace did not go out searching for Summer Wells simply because law enforcement asked them not to. They asked everybody not to, including your dumbass that's out there right now. They asked everyone not to. They said, let law enforcement handle this, period. That's all they did. That's what they said. Like, you cannot criticize Don and Candace for doing what the people charged with the responsibility, the professionals charged with the responsibility of finding their daughter. You cannot fault them for doing what they told them to do. It's ridiculous. Now, did they do everything that law enforcement told them not to do? No, because, I mean, every time they're not helping. They're actually counterproductive to finding Summer Wells every time they go onto somebody's YouTube channel and start giving these trolls something to spin and manipulate and twist. Because then they call the TBI helpline, or the tip line, sorry, and flood the tip line and waste resources. So it's counterproductive for Don and Candace to go on YouTube and do what they're doing. But what's really funny, though, is all of those times totally intoxicated these people, right? Every time. That's something I agree with. Most of the time when you see them, they're intoxicated. Last time I talked to Don, he was like, disclaimer, I'm drunk. I had a lot to drink. And I was just like, oh, God. And I'm not judging him for drinking, but I mean, I'm nobody to judge anybody for drinking on a live stream, but I don't have a missing kid. So I'm like, every time you go live on someone's channel, you're giving these trolls more shit to call the tip line with that wastes resources. So for them to do that, it's actually counterproductive to finding their daughter. And I don't think that they have gone live on other people's channels, especially the troll channels. I don't think they have in a long time. See, thanks, buddy. When you got a good friend when he just straight up lies for you. It's fucking dope.
Searches, why they chose to stay home, use drugs, and then yell and scream at everybody that was trying to help them and act like because we didn't believe their story that we were the problem. And they would forbid us to search for his daughter because we didn't believe him. What kind of psycho?
No, law enforcement said not to search for their daughter. Law enforcement.
Dirtbag are you? Do you care about your reputation or do you care about us finding your daughter? Because you knew we weren't ever going to find your daughter.
They care about competent people finding their daughter, not idiots who think that they're investigators. There's a difference. When law enforcement, when the professionals say you're going to be counterproductive if you come out here, you're just going to fuck shit up. Don't do that. When those professionals say that, and then you go and do it anyway, any parent with a missing child is going to say, yeah, don't fucking do that. Please. I want my daughter found.
You knew that, Don. You knew that. That's why. And you will never, ever, ever be able to explain your awful and poor behavior after she disappeared. That's why I don't believe Fred Hill had anything to do with it. And if he was doing a bone for Don Wells, he's a dirtbag. He would have been singing like a canary to get out of jail. He wouldn't have been trying to lie about this Cotton guy. He would have been.
Yeah, so if Candace was guilty, wouldn't Don have done the same thing the entire time he was in jail? I mean, you gotta pick one, sweetie. You gotta pick one here. You can't sit here and make excuses as to why Don didn't rat out Candace while he was in jail, and then say that it's not, that it's, that Fred Hill would have done the same thing while he was in jail. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You got to pick one. Like, the same logic applies to both people. So
telling all of Candace and Don Wells' business. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I see a lot of people like to be triggered because Don Wells is a piece of garbage. You guys are just going to have to be triggered. I'm allowed to have my opinion.
Nobody's triggered.
You don't like it? Suck it. I don't care. And you know where I'm at.
Sounds like me.
Right? Not hiding from it either. Not hiding from it either. Don and Candace, you need to come clean. This charade is going to come to an end eventually. It will come to an end.
Dude, all of the times I started to make this point and then I didn't, but I've made this point many times before. I mean, nobody here thinks that Don and Candace are, genius scholars. Okay. None of these people are Brian Kobergers. Neither one of them. Let's just be honest. Neither one of them are Ted Bundys. They're not. Let's just be honest. I'm not trying to insult them. I'm just saying they're not exactly criminal geniuses. Talking about Don, who got arrested for drinking and driving and having a gun in the car. Okay? Like, when you're dumb, you slip up. Period. How many times has Don and or Candace been on a live stream, shit-faced, and yet they never slipped? They never slipped on any information. How many times? I can't even count. How many times have they been live And where's the slip up? Where's the oh shit? The oh shit moment. I mean, it's never happened. It's been 2 years, and these people go on every single. Hold on. These people go on every single YouTube channel known to man for the last 2 years, and nothing. Not one slip up. But they're guilty? I mean, are they criminal geniuses? Right, Morgan. He's like Ethan Hunt, the Mission Impossible movies. Totally. I mean, these are not criminal geniuses, people. Dude, I was just rewatching the Dahmer series, and like it dawned on me. It was really crazy. Jeffrey Dahmer got caught because he was a sloppy fucking drunk. Straight up. There was no, gritty forensic detective work that caught him. One of his victims ran out of the house. 2 victims of his actually escaped. And the first time, it was a 14-year-old kid, and and these 2 beat cops believed his dumb story and even went into his apartment and helped and watched him walk this 14-year-old kid with a hole drilled in his head and acid poured into his head. And he just said, he had too much to drink. This is my boyfriend. He's 19. He's actually 14. And the cops just escorted him carrying this kid back up to the apartment. And he said, I'm going to have a look around. And then they just did like this. And then said, all right, that weird shit you guys are into, that's cool. And then left. Couple of homophobes. And then the second victim ran like hell, and then the cops stop him, and he explains what happened, and he takes them back to Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, and they find pictures of bodies with decapitated heads, and are like, holy shit, because this guy said this guy tried to kill me. He drugged me and he tried to kill me. Every other time, and it wasn't the first time somebody escaped. People escaped his grandmother's house, reported him, said this guy fucking drugged me. He went to bathhouses and got banned from all the bathhouses because he was drugging people. No forensic detective works like, we've got these missing people and we think that there's a pattern here. That never happened. It was 2 beat cops that showed up on a complaint that this guy was that this guy tried to kill somebody. And then they just went back and asked questions. Said, you care if we look around? That's how Jeffrey Dahmer got caught. By simply being a sloppy fucking drunk. I mean, what kind of criminal mastermind, right? What kind of criminal mastermind has a fucking, what was it, like a fucking 70-gallon fucking vat filled with acid and 3 torsos in it, a decapitated head in the fridge, a smell going all through that floor of the building coming from his apartment, with a lame story that his family got him pork chop meat, and it went bad because his fridge broke. Like, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And you're going to tell me that Don Wells is smarter than Jeffrey Dahmer? And he just outsmarted all of law enforcement who's actively looking for his missing daughter? Like, you're going to tell me that he just Like, it doesn't add up, man. It doesn't fucking make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Like, for this person and for Chris McDumbass and fucking The Lab and Prayer Garden and Doug No Thanks, like, all sitting here and painting this picture like Don and Candace are these criminal masterminds is asinine. It's so stupid. All of these people who are just assuming that Don and Candace outsmarted three different law enforcement agencies, one of them being the FBI. And all this time, they just outsmarted them and have the audacity to gloat on every fucking YouTube channel for the last 2 years. Give me a fucking break. It doesn't add up, dude.
Eventually. And believe me, baby, I'll be there. You understand that, right? So, with all that, guys, I know Olivia's in that, right? Individually.
I gotta see that again.
And believe me, baby, I'll be there. You understand that, right? So, with all that, guys, I know Olivia's just wanted to get content. I wanted you guys to know.
One more time.
With all, I'll be there. You understand that, right? And believe me, baby, I'll be there. You understand that, right? So, with all that, guys, I know Olivia's just wanted to get content. I wanted you guys to know that we've never forgotten about
Oh my God.
We've
What
never
a
forgotten about
fucking
her.
dolt.
We never will forget about her. We fight for her more than people know. Just because I'm
No,
not
you
public
don't.
with all the stuff I'm doing doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. Doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. But you know what? I respect this child enough to do the advocacy because I know that those animals here on the social media, the hate channels, and I'm going to call them hate channels, because that's exactly what they are. They breed hate. And
Oh, Betty. Now it's all about her. I love that. It's always a telltale sign when they make it all about them. You know, it's all about Betty now. Betty, I don't hate you. Betty, I don't hate you. I don't speak for anyone else, but I don't hate you.
And you know what the saddest part is? There's some people that I knew in there that go to church. I hope when you go into church and you're in those nasty ass rooms, I hope you're praying for yourself. Wash your sins away.
Wash your sins away. I love this. Now she's preaching. Psycho cunt. Thank God, Betty. Don't breed. Agreed. Thank you. Member for 6 months. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
Because you know what? Some of the people, you know, I'm a Christian woman. I tell it like it is. Some of the most judgmental people I have ever met sat next to me in church. Bet your bottom dollar on that.
Wow. Projection much?
Some of the most judgmental people I have ever met sat next to me in church. Bet your bottom dollar on that. Bet your bottom dollar on that. So you churchgoers, you better be going to church because you need prayers a hell of a lot more than me. I know you don't believe it, but there's a reason why God tells you not to judge others. And God also tells you when one finger's pointing that way, you got 3 pointing back. You got 3 pointing back. And at the end of the day, everyone has skeletons in their closet and no one is perfect. So this idea that Don and Candace Wells had nothing to do with this, you're living in a pipe dream. That's what you're living in. It's time to wake up out of that nightmare and start getting a reality check. And just because law enforcement doesn't have enough evidence at this point to make an arrest, doesn't mean an arrest is not coming. And you know who's going to most likely be behind those handcuffs?
I mean, hey, DeVry graduate, DeVry paralegal. That's exactly what it means, actually. When you don't have evidence, you don't make an arrest. It's actually exactly how the law works. When you don't have evidence, you don't make an arrest. It's how it works. Okay? Because an arrest is merely prelude to a trial and a conviction. That's it. If you don't have evidence to prove in court, to present to a jury and prove their guilt, they're not going to arrest you. They're not going to arrest you.
Handcuffs, Don and Candace Wells. Don and Candace Wells. Mark my word.
And I love how she talks about hate. This is a pure hate campaign against Don and Candace Wells. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, you know, I don't think it's okay to harass parents of a missing child. I don't think that's okay at all. But I understand the feelings against Don and Candace because they constantly put themselves out there to be criticized. They constantly put themselves out there to develop feelings against them. It's hard to defend them when they do what they do. I totally acknowledge that. But what I'm saying is still no evidence, still nothing.
And you know, moreover, when it happens, all you people that sat there and said that my work was gut junk, we'll see how much integrity you have when you have to swallow that bitter pill and apologize, not just to me, but to every other creator that got it right while you got it wrong. So God bless you guys. We're going to be out here. We're going to rock it out. People don't like it. Oh, well, this is America. I can do whatever the hell I damn well please. I've never changed my behavior one time.
Yeah,
That's fact.
We know. That's why we go over your shit, because it's consistently fucked up. So like, I love that. I love the whole, you know, when they get arrested, you know, you're going to be wrong, we're going to be wrong, and she's going to be right, right? Well, I mean, the thing is I never have to apologize. I'm never going to have to apologize for giving parents of a missing child the benefit of the doubt, for assuming their innocence over their guilt. I'm never going to have to apologize for that. Never. Because even still, I'm going to say, well, there was no evidence. Let's say it happens. And then TBI, Hawkins County, holds a press conference and goes, we arrested Dawn and or Candace Wells early this morning, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But where was any of the evidence that drew the conclusion of all of these idiots that we point out, that creators like me and Morbid point out? Where's the evidence? It's just fascinating. All right, guys. Don't hate me, guys. You're about to see Betty in a bathing suit.
I don't know how bad this is, but I try to clean it up for you guys a little bit. We probably got a streak in here. Hold on. Well, I got to.
Well, they've never singled them out as suspects, Rain Dancer. They've said that everyone is a suspect. But that was just their way of wording things. They're, you know, Hawkins County is an inexperienced law enforcement agency when it comes to things like this. And they're not always going to do things the perfect way. So it just is what it is. But just to be more specific, Rain Dancer, they've never singled them out as suspects.
There we go. There we go. So I'll just wait for a couple people to get in. I just want to go over our day. It was hot. We decided to go. We
drink that in, folks.
Bring swimsuits. but we went to Walmart and got some swimsuits. It was extremely hot out there today. You know, we walked miles today looking for Layla Santanello or anything. I just dropped a preview video out of some of the stuff that we did. I didn't really, you know, it had more music than really content because, I mean, it did show you what all we did, but all of those videos that were kind of merged together. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. All those people that were merged together, or all those videos that were merged together, that was just a preview of what we did today. We're going to, hey guys, nice to see you. I am literally cooling off. It was hot. I don't know how to explain it. The good news is that, well, I don't know. It's good and bad news. It appears that we did find the location where Layla was at. We found where she was sleeping behind the hotel on the 26th. So we pinned it. We reached out to law enforcement just to let them know that we had found it if they hadn't. But other than that, that's really all. I can't even hardly see. The sun is so bad over here, and it's hard because Olivia's over there running a live on TikTok right now. So I figured I'd go live here. Hey guys, sorry, it's really bright out here. It's very hot. It's kind of crazy because when we got here, like our room was freezing cold, like 61. It was Arctic in our room, and but we ended up sleeping just fine. I still can't read you guys, so just bear with me. I can't read anything on here because of the sun. But I see you guys. Oh, nice to see you. Nice to see you. We are praying for Layla. This is really neat because you guys know that we love Turkey Man here on this show. Great guy. He loves God. He loves to preach.
All right. So we're 2.5 minutes in and all we've heard is complaining so far. Okay.
He just so happened to call me today and he prayed for us.
Like, it's so hot. It's so hot. But our fucking hotel room was ice cold. Like, you know, you can adjust the AC in your hotel room, right? You know, you can do that. You're paying for that luxury to be able to control the thermostat in your hotel room. What?
Prayed for the family. He prayed, you know, over the search and everything like that. It was really interesting because we hadn't even posted a video, and we actually met a man and a woman on the trail. Just, you know, of course,
it's so funny how Betty in a bathing suit by the pool just adds 50 years to her. She looks fucking 90 right now, bro. Like,
every time we talk to somebody, we always try to see, you know, show them the photo, see if they've got any information, see if they've seen them, whatever. And while they did not, they were so kind and they literally asked, they're like, can we do something before you guys get on your search? And we're like, I looked at them, I said, you want to pray? I said, we would love that. And so we all kind of had this prayer circle, and these are people I've never met before in my life. I didn't even catch their names. But they were just so moved by Layla's story that they wanted to pray over her family. They wanted to pray over the search. They wanted to pray over her coming home safely and everything. So it was just really, just the people here are
We
really
don't
nice.
make mistakes.
Everybody has,
We have happy accidents.
you know, if they have some information, we were down at some park and we were talking to some homeless people out there, and then there was a pastor out there, you know, helping with some wounds, you know, from lifestyles or fights or whatever. He was just out there, you know, bandaging some people up, putting some band-aids on them or whatnot. And so he started.
Dude, like when the camera just starts to get lower, like when her camera just starts to get lower, I'm just like,
No. Wait.
It just fucking freaks me out.
Started talking to us, and he looked at the photo and he said that, you know, she looked very familiar. She looked like a woman that he's helped in the past. And so we were following this trail. We started from where we knew she was last seen at, which was the creamery, and we looked at what way she could have gotten there. And so we just basically backtracked from the creamery to how we believe that
The
she
creamery.
got there. And it must have been the right track because
Nice.
it led us to the campsite. Now, we searched the whole area over there where a witness had seen her kind of coming out of the woods. So that witness pointed us to the area where he believed that she, he showed us exactly where she went, what she did, how she was acting that morning. And it was very much of a help because it directed us to the area. There's so much woods around this AmeriCorps hotel that when you hear her, when we heard online that she was running toward the trees, you kind of think she was either running behind the building, to the right of the building, or to the left of the, wherever the trees were. Well, the problem here is trees were everywhere. So which way did she go? And so that was our first problem and why we couldn't start at the AmeriCorps hotel, because there were so many trees. We had to go to the last place that she was at and track back. And when we did that,
That must be exhausting.
we were able to locate where she was staying. She wasn't there. But the good news is there was no visible signs of disturbance. There was no, that whole area that she came back, it looked like people had been there in the past. It looked like there was only really one campsite.
Why would there be visible signs of disturbance a month after she went missing? What do you you realize that the cops already searched everywhere, right? You realize that they covered everything.
In that area. So you could see the bedding there. And when you compare the bedding to the AmeriCorps bedding, you can tell that bedding, the blanket, they had like a fuzzy brown blanket, which came from the hotel. And then they had the actual like printed comforter that they put on the beds at the AmeriCorps. We also learned that AmeriCorps is well-known hotel that does help the community here house some of the homeless population. They work, from my understanding, work with the government or maybe a nonprofit or something. But a lot of the homeless people end up going there to stay, for however long they can, and a stage to help them get back on their feet. So we don't know where she's at. We've talked to a lot of people. We did.
She just said, well, long story short, guys, we don't know where she's at. We don't know where the missing person's at. Oh my God. Here, Betty.
Trace the signal.
Massive amounts of searching. I think a couple things that were a little odd, and I apologize if you guys are giving me leads in the I can't see the chat. I mean, I see it moving down there, but it's so bright out here I can't even read it. But if you guys have any leads or hear of anything, send that to
her whole chat's like, dude, please just be neck, just get up to here in the water. Just get up to here in the water, please. That's it. Like, her whole chat is like, move the camera up, get in the water. For fuck's sake, you're killing us right now.
Again, all leads should be going to law enforcement and the TBI, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you have legit information, you need to be calling TBI, 1-800-TBI-FINE. Unfortunately, this is the situation that we're in. The people that she was hanging around will not call law enforcement. They don't really want to deal with law enforcement. And that's where I think some of this is coming up with that. So the only thing if they're willing to talk to the law and they're willing to tell their story, they need to go straight to TBI. They need to go straight to Kingsport Police. But if they've got warrants out for their arrest, they don't want to deal with law enforcement, they can always send the lead to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And I will absolutely make sure that is moved forward. Right now, this girl has been gone for well over a month. This is not like her.
So, just a second there, Professor. Just a second.
Kingsport Police, but if they've got warrants out for their arrest, they don't want to deal with law enforcement, they can always send the lead to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And I will absolutely.
Oh my God, you fucking dolt. So here you are, and you're suggesting that anybody with leads on this missing woman contact you and you'll forward it to the TBI. First of all, the TBI doesn't want to hear from you. They already know too much about you. This is what anybody in the TBI at this point, 2 years later, after Summer Wells, is doing whenever they see a message or a call from Bullhorn Betty. They're like, fuck. That's my impression of the TBI's reaction, or Hawkins County. Fuck. Guaranteed. No. Listen to me, people, and this is important. Anybody who's listening, anybody who follows Bullhorn Betty, if you have a criminal record and you're worried about interacting with the TBI is not interested in you. They are not interested in you. Okay? Call the tip line, be anonymous, you'll be fine. Okay? What they're concerned about is finding this missing person. They're not interested in whatever the fuck you're wanted for. All right? So you can absolutely just be anonymous. You can download an app on your phone, a burner app on your phone, and you can call the tip line from that. You can absolutely be anonymous. So if you have information on where Layla is, you do not contact Bullhorn Betty. Do not email Bullhorn Betty. Call the tip line directly. Please. Please. This is just somebody who wants credit for informing the TBI. This is somebody who just wants to be involved, who wants to Karen a missing persons case. Make no mistake about that. That is all that's happening here. Okay? If you have information on Layla, report it directly to the TBI. Please do not go through Bullhorn Betty. It is the stupidest fucking thing you could do, and it's really shitty on top of that. So don't fucking do that.
Absolutely make sure that is moved forward. Right now, this girl has been gone for well over a month. This is not like her. She's never gone with very long without the use of social media. She has no social media activity. Her family has not seen her. Her boyfriend that she has been, so to the hip at has not seen her. We have a witness out there that said that they saw her boyfriend out there searching for her the day after her disappearance. So there's a lot of information that is coming in, but it's not really helpful. Basically, we've cleared a nice size area, which is a benefit to the case. We cleared a whole section of woods behind the AmeriCorps Hotel.
Where's the live footage of you searching? Is what I want to know. Does that exist? I mean, maybe in Olivia's content, Chronicles of Oblivious, maybe in her content, I don't know. But I mean, we have all seen what Betty looks like when she's searching. If searching and complaining meant the same thing, that's what Betty was doing. Just so y'all know.
I don't know why law enforcement, where they had their press conference and where they were doing the search, was a little confusing for me now that I have boots on the ground, because it was a significant distance from where she was last seen, which almost makes me want to pause. Why did they move so far? Maybe they're covering more territory just to be sure. I'm not sure. I really am not sure. But this case is not done yet. It's not done yet. And I just want her family right now to have hope, because it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't know.
It's just sad, y'all. It's just sad.
It's just sad. Oh, and a big shout out to Sonia. Sonia was out here with us helping us search.
She can't be out there forever, people, because there's going to be water aerobics class that she has to attend shortly. Just saying.
It was kind of shocking because when we got to the creamery, which when you see the videos, I'll put out the videos in their entirety soon. But I think one of the biggest, like, seriously type of things was the lack of cameras. They don't have a lot of cameras here in Kingsport at their shopping centers. It's not like Florida. It's not like where many of us live. You turn around and there's a camera on the exterior of the businesses. The only one that has any kind of cameras on the outside of the business is Ashley Furniture Store, and they don't even have cameras on the front of the building.
Y'all are killing me in the chat right now.
The only camera that they have is on the rear side of their building, not the front. So there's literally no cameras here. So there's no way for anybody to know if she was picked up or not from that parking lot. I can tell you that it appears from everything I've seen that she must have had to have called somebody, and that somebody must have picked her up. And I truly believe that that is what we're going to find out has happened in this case, that she did leave that area. And
I'm like betting. Now let's come back to this for a second. Let's do something here, because I like to stay informed. You know what I mean? I like to get facts straight. Hold on a second. Now, this is the latest press conference involving this case. So let's listen to law enforcement what they say here.
It's your turn to be on camera.
It's not good.
So right. Yeah. I already did my time this morning, and I'll do some time later. No, I'm good.
Okay. Is this live?
We're streaming it live.
Okay.
Yes, Dolly, we need you. Bring your drone.
Corporal Brandon Johnson with the Kingsport Police Department, BRANDON JOHNSON. Ready for me to start? Okay. Today, approximately 100 first responders are searching an area of approximately 320 acres, searching for evidence in connection to the missing person.
Okay, right there. 320 acres, folks.
In case of Layla Santanello. Currently, no evidence has been located as a result of this search. We are utilizing specialized tools to search difficult terrain in the area. We continue to ask the public for assistance in this case. If you have any information as to Ms. Santanello's whereabouts or anyone that she might have been with, please call 423-343-9780 or 1-800-TBI-FIND. Santanello was last seen in the area of 2003 North Eastman Road on June 27th of this year. She is 21 years of age, 4'10", weighs approximately 135 pounds, has blonde hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in a white tank top with black leggings and no shoes. That's all the information I have for you right now, and I will turn it over to Lieutenant Justin McConnell for questions.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant McConnell with Kingsport Police Department. I work in the Professional Standards Unit. We don't have a whole lot of information to share, but I'm happy to entertain any questions that I can answer.
Can you just say and spell your name?
Lieutenant Justin McConnell.
Can you spell it, Helen?
JUSTINMCCONNELL.
I have for you right now, and I will turn it over to 3 North Eastman Road on June 27th of this year. She is 21 years of age, 4'10", weighs approximately 135 pounds, has blonde hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in a white tank top with black leggings and no shoes. That's all the information I have for you right now, and I will turn it over to Lieutenant Justin McConnell for questions.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant McConnell with Kingsport Police Department. I work in the Professional Standards Unit. We don't have a whole lot of information to share, but I'm happy to entertain any questions that I can answer.
Can you just
Lieutenant Justin McConnell. JUSTINMCCONNELL.
I guess for starters, why did you all decide now was the time to call in all of these different entities to attempt to do a search down here?
Well, the investigation has been ongoing since she was reported missing in June, and it's one of those things where the area has been searched, but to this extent, we haven't had any additional leads. So to this extent of a search, we felt like it was time to cover that base as well, given the fact that there's all sorts of rough terrain and flooded areas throughout the areas behind East Stone Drive and around East Stone Commons. It's a lot of area to cover. So coordinating an operation like this sort of took a little bit of time, and we felt like that this was just an area we had not yet fully covered yet. We didn't want to leave any stone unturned.
Can you kind of walk us through the process of how this search is happening? I know there's been several different teams going out there.
There is. Our Sullivan County Emergency Management has been assisting us in coordinating the search, and the area surrounding behind the business on Stone, going from the Holston Valley area to the East Stone target area, has been divided up into different sectors with area rescue squads, along with law enforcement, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Kingsport Police Department. We've been mixing law enforcement with those teams, assigning 2 different sectors throughout the day-to-day with a team of 4 to 5 individuals searching through an assigned area. Then they will report back to a unified command that we have set up through our Sullivan County Emergency Management here at Tuesday morning at our command post here. So sort of being directed from there, and multiple teams being directed under one unified command.
An endangered young adult alert was released on August 3rd. Have there been any, significant tips or changes in your search since that level of risk was upgraded?
I wouldn't say changes in the search, but tips do continue to come in, and we do field those tips out and investigate all leads that do come in. So we do encourage
all leads,
no matter how insignificant they may think something is, to go ahead and report, and we'll continue to investigate as they come in.
Did the weather last night hamper you guys this morning?
We do have some flooding that's going on throughout the area behind these businesses. That's a little higher than we would have liked. So we're sort of having to alter our search techniques just a little bit and let some of those flood waters recede before we can complete more of a in-depth search of those areas where the water is.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for, just maybe something out of the ordinary?
I would say that we're not looking for anything in particular. Any evidence that we could connect back to the case would be what we're looking for. We really don't know what we would expect to find, but anything that would jump out will be investigated by law enforcement, depending on what's found.
And I assume surveillance video from the surrounding businesses.
That's part of the investigation, yes.
Do you plan to be out here again with this search in the next few days?
Too early for me to say definitively at this point in time. We would say that there's no definite end date for the search at this point in time. So as more information on that comes out, we'll certainly let everybody know.
You said you were using all sorts of equipment for this search. What kind of equipment are you using?
In addition to manpower, we have drones that we're going to utilize. We have underwater sonar capability that can be utilized. We have canine dogs that are being used. All sorts of things like that to sort of aid in otherwise inaccessible areas that we can just check all the areas we can.
And y'all were searching behind the building that you stole from.
Yes, that's part of the search area.
And you also mentioned Target. Is that part of the search area?
We're all the way out down Stone Drive. Yes, ma'am. As Corporal Johnson says, a total of about 320 acres total is the area we're looking at that we've identified at present time.
Anything else you want to say about just the cross-agency collaboration here?
The Kingsport Police would certainly like to thank all of our partners: Kingsport Fire Department, Bristol Fire Department, all the rescue squads, Kingsport Life Saving Crew, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, TBI. It's been a team effort, and we certainly are very appreciative to all the agencies that have come to our aid around the area. It's been a true example of what we can accomplish when we all work together, and we definitely appreciate you all as well getting the word out. I think that's all we have at this point in time. We'll keep everybody informed of any new developments we get as they come in. Thank you all.
All right. So I checked out that address of where she was last seen. And I'm just trying to see what's around here. So this is the shopping center right here where she was last seen. But I mean, it looks like a pretty public area. It's definitely not like Rogersville where Summer went missing. This all looks pretty public. I mean, there's some stuff around there where, you know, I mean, but look at that. Uh, it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting to see how the hotel is 2 buildings to the right. Okay. All right. So what, over here? Yeah, so I mean, you got to imagine like law enforcement is doing everything that they possibly can. You know, this isn't uh I mean, I don't really know exactly what 320 acres looks like as far as a perimeter goes, but I'd imagine there's still plenty of you know what I mean? There's still plenty of public places where somebody could have seen her. Um, so yeah, I mean, if they don't find any security cameras or anything like that, because I feel like they would have let us know. They would have let the public know that there was footage where she was last seen in order to keep the public informed and give the public more of a narrowed down area to keep their eye out on. So um I, I don't know, of course. I don't know what law enforcement knows. I don't pretend to know what law enforcement knows, but if I'm speculating based on this very little information, I'm going to speculate that she got in a vehicle, and whether she was put in a vehicle or whether she willingly got in a vehicle, I'd say that uh, yeah, because I mean, if they searched everywhere, you know what I mean? Like if they searched everywhere in this area, uh, I feel like they would have found something. But they have to search. They have to search every nook and cranny here. They have to search behind every building. They have to search every rooftop. You know, they have to search everywhere. Um, all along this road, any of this terrain that's right here behind the building. Like you can see there's some terrain right there. So there's nothing to indicate to me that law enforcement is not doing their job. Nothing at all. So yeah, I'm just not, I'm not buying any reason why Betty and Olivia are out there for any other reason than to say we're out here searching when they're not discovering anything. We listened to all of the different we listened to the officers explain all of the different methods that they're going through to find this woman. I mean, they're professionals. What's Betty doing? That's what I want to know. What's Betty doing? Exactly. What does she think she's doing? Right. All right. All right.
It's a little concerning for me, especially if she left the area with somebody that she knew, because that's a tale that tells you something. She wasn't in that area. She's not. She went somewhere. So what happened to her from the...
Now, I guarantee you that law enforcement is questioning everyone. Law enforcement, anybody that knows her, that they investigate, find out that she knew and has interacted with recently, those people are being sought out for questioning. Not as suspects necessarily, but they're being sought out. Morgan, shut up. They're being sought out to find out what they know. That's part of, I mean, what they do is they canvass every business that's out there. Guaranteed they canvass everything in that area. Guaranteed. And anybody that they might have seen, that she might have been seen with in the days leading up to when she went missing, those people are being sought after and questioned. So I mean, I don't know what she thinks she's doing
from
out
the
there.
time somebody picked her up to the time she stopped contacting anyone. Thank you, Faithlyn. I see that. Oh, and I want to give a big shout out. I am Team Summer has always been a just a great supporter of the Bullhorn Betty channel, an amazing.
Yeah, I am Team Summer. You're not Team Summer if you support this crap.
Mod, and she really does so much for the Bullhorn Betty channel. And I don't ever get an opportunity to just give her a shout out, because a lot of the stuff that she does for this channel, she does behind the scenes. It's not out in the public. And I just, my heart just, I just want her to know how much I appreciate her and how much I love her. So just a big shout out to her and all of my beautiful, wonderful mods, every single one of my mods, with the exception of just a couple I have personally met. I personally had an opportunity to hang out with, get to know. You know, we're friends. It's not just that we're, you know, that they mod for this unknown mystery person on the other end of a YouTube camera, right? So my mods are very, very, very much important to me, and I love every one of them. And they've been.
So I've got Layla Santanello's information up here for two reasons. One, so that of course we know what to look out for if we see her, of course, but it's also working as a way for to ensure that Morbid is not engaging in self-pollution as he watches this. It's covering the vitals here, just saying.
They've been through a lot to be a Bullhorn Betty mod. Not that I put them through it, just for being a part of my show. So I'm really appreciative of all of them. So when you guys are in here and you're enjoying your comments, you know there's a lot of people that are just on the sidelines waiting to have that stab, that nasty.
Morbid, you're gonna go blind, buddy.
Comment, that trigger.
Knock it off.
And the reason why you guys don't see a lot of those things is because our mods do an amazing job of weeding that garbage out of this chat. And that in and of itself is a full-time job at times, you know? So we're very thankful. So just always remember to be kind and courteous to our beautiful mods here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, because they work so hard for each and every one of you to have a wonderful experience on this channel and in the chat. So don't ever forget to say thank you and hi to them. And
I mean, her mods are probably working real hard, because you know there's definitely trolls. There's definitely trolls like that show up in her chat. Like, I know I'm hidden. That happened like 2 years ago.
You know, thank you to all of you that are viewing this. I mean, to be honest with you, this is like a no-name case, right? This is Layla Santanello. She's barely getting any kind of coverage from her local media here, and this case moved me. I don't.
That's not true. There was just a fucking press conference. What are you talking about?
I don't know how to explain it, but this particular case moved me. Maybe it's something that I see in Layla that I saw in myself in my 20s. I don't know why this case moved me, but this case did move me. And you hear all this stuff, and we cover the true crime, and we have our statistics, and those statistics kind of
Her hair's gonna fucking blow away.
drive a lot of what we say and a lot of our commentary and pointing the fingers. And again, when it comes to the 20-something year olds, I really do try very hard to be extra a detail in the information, because they're young, they're impressionable. You never want them to go through any horrible thing.
I bet you the fucking I bet you the hotel manager was like, please do not submerge your head in the pool, because your hair is going to fall out and it's going to fuck up my pool pump. So please just make sure you keep your head above water. Thank you.
Things from like online bullying and things like that. That's why I was so cautious with the Idaho 4. That's why even with Leilani Simon, I wanted to find out what was going on. I never really said a whole lot about her until I got there. And I started getting the information in. So this is another one where, there's a lot of moving pieces in this particular case. And I want to be extra cautious, and I want to make sure that our due diligence is right.
Y'all are killing me.
Because of the age of the people involved, and I don't know where this case is going to go. I guess a piece of me just really hopes and wishes.
We know you don't. We know you have no fucking idea.
That she's just gallivanting off with some friends, had a fight with her boyfriend or something, and just decided, I need a road trip, and BFF decides to go pick her up and just let's go on a road trip. Like I'm still hoping. And
bro, like, listen, I like the idea of holding out hope for her too. I'm hoping that that's the case too, but let's just be honest. She's been missing for over a month. She's had no social media activity. And the whole world is looking for her right now. So,
and wishing for that. Maybe she just came to a point in her life that she was just so grief-stricken, tired of this lifestyle, and decided to go into, say, rehab and start getting help, and maybe not.
That's the stupidest fucking theory I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
Calling people, and with rehab, she's 21 years old, so they can't really give even her mother information about her, even if her mom called, because of HIPAA. So, there's still a piece of me that's hopeful.
Nobody just checks into rehab and doesn't tell anybody, especially if they have kids. The fuck are you talking about?
That there's something more going on with this case, that this is, that it's not going to be this horrible story that, we're always accustomed to hearing on the, in the true crime community. We're really hoping that there's something that explains her disappearance and it's not horrible. But you know what? If it does turn out horrible, we still have to find that silver lining, because she still was a beautiful soul, and I don't want to even think about that right now, because there's nothing.
What the fuck are you talking about? Even if there is something horrible, we have to find that silver lining, because she's that beautiful. What are you?
It's indicating that there's nothing indicating that anything's happened to her. She's just not around.
Oh, you mean like there's nothing indicating that anything happened to Summer? You mean kind of like that?
It's just like she just vanished. I have to be honest with you. It doesn't look good. I would never lie to you guys or deceive you in any way. This does not look good by any.
Make a note, folks. She would never lie and deceive anybody here.
The imagination. There's a piece in me deep down in my gut that's telling me this is not going to turn out good. But that's not going to deter me from looking for her.
Yeah, we all know about your gut feelings.
Going to deter me from, trying to seek answers, for her family. So we're just going to keep going.
You're not qualified to get answers for her family. You're interfering with an investigation. You are interfering with what could be a criminal investigation. So if somebody ends up getting arrested and going on trial, and you went around asking questions and collecting information, a lawyer's going to be able to use that in court. You fucking dimwit.
Going down this road, we're going to keep plugging away. We can't spend a whole lot of time here. You know, we're going to be leaving here in a few days, and you know, I'd like to, like I told Olivia, that, you know, depending on how this case starts, we're a day trip away. You know, we're a day drive away. That's just, you know, that's not too bad. So if things do happen or they need more boots on the ground here, it's just a day drive for us to get back here. And I think that when we leave,
I feel like I'm just watching her hair burn
here, I'm hoping that we have something that could be beneficial. You know, I'm hoping maybe, because it didn't look like law enforcement had been back in those woods. It didn't look like they had seen where she was staying. You know, maybe it has some valuable forensic evidence that could be beneficial to law enforcement to help them figure out this case. You know, I really, truly just don't know. I don't know.
We know you don't know.
But we're just doing our best out here. We're covering a lot of ground for.
Yeah, we see that. Hanging out by the pool with your fucking gullible ass followers' money.
Or, you know, we covered a lot of ground for 3 women. I gotta say, we covered a lot of ground. It was a lot, but we had to go back there. We had to see where this trail leads and this trail leads. And then we find out that we have a trail that leads to a fence. You know, did she climb over a fence? Do we think she climbed over a fence? No, we don't think she climbed over a freaking fence. So this is not a way she would.
Really? Why don't you think she climbed over a fence? I mean, I'm not saying she climbed over a fence. I'm not saying I think she climbed over a fence. But Betty, did you run the fences in the area for prints? You know, like a qualified investigator would be able to do is take prints off of the fences and see if she climbed a fence, and then test the prints. Did you take DNA samples from the fences and test them? Oh, because you can't, because you're just a YouTube fucking idiot.
She would have gone. There's barbed wire on top of this fence. Do you think she climbed over this fence? Of course not. This is not her path. But we did find it. We found her path. We found her path, how she got to the creamery. We were able to backtrack her path, and it led us right to a campsite out in those woods next to the.
You found her path. Mm-hmm.
AmeriCorps. And so you're going to see all of that. I'm going to be dropping videos. You know, soon you're going to see all of that coming out in the videos of our search, where we came across the campsite out there. And again, it is the only one out there. So it's not like you can just say, you know, this ain't it, you know, so to speak. I mean, it was it was there. So yes, welcome everyone. Oh, nice to see you, Pebbles. So the sun just went down in the back, so now I can actually see a little bit. Lulu's Nana, nice to see you guys. Absolutely, you know, this is why we're here. This is what we do. You know, we're not these people that stay in our homes and look at articles to decide what law enforcement says. You know, that's not what we do. You know, we do a lot of different things.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta take Panda out.
And to be searching
1
for the
second.
missing. That is our primary purpose. Everything else comes secondary. You know, sometimes we have to be at the house. You know, we can't be on the roads all the time, even though we should be. We should have huge teams on the road going from city to city, helping anybody and everybody that needs help. But that's just not practical and nor possible. So, you know, what do? You do what you can. If each and every individual just did what they could, think of how much more could be done. And while I realize that people have different things, like, you know, this is my life, this is my job, this is my business, this is my career path. You know, somebody may be an attorney, you know, they can't take off to go search, but you know what they can do? They can share a post. They can pass around a flyer. They can, you know, any information that's out there, they can be passing it on. They can be posting it in the discussion groups, in the Facebook chat rooms. Everybody can do something to help these cases. I have the privilege of being able to come out here and physically look for these people, and that is exactly what I plan on doing, is looking for these people. We've got an uphill battle with this case. There's literally no cameras, and we have a location of where she's been. We have no timeline. We have no definitive timeline, which is going to be a huge problem. She didn't have a cell phone on her at the time, so the tracking and pinging capabilities are none. It really is
wow,
the worst kind of a situation you can have when you're searching for somebody, especially in the day and ages of data mining, pings.
You have no experience searching for anyone. Every time we've seen you search for somebody, all you do is complain, and you just go like you complain about stickers. You've done nothing ever productive when you claim to be searching. How long are your subscribers, your followers gonna fall for this bullshit? Like, you're sitting by a fucking pool. I mean, if they're giving you money to search, shouldn't you be streaming when you're doing the search? Why are you streaming from a fucking pool where like you look like you're about to engage in occupational therapy? Like, what makes you think that this is what your followers want when they're sending you money and funding these trips? You're looking like you're on vacation. That's what you're doing.
Things like that. She's not going to have any of that. We have no cameras. We have no idea where she's at. That's the reality of.
Okay, so you think that you're going to get to review those cameras? You really believe that if you see a camera outside of a business, right, that you're going to be able to ask them and they're going to agree to allowing you to review evidence in an ongoing investigation? Wow. Like, people who follow her, like, must be the stupidest fucking people in the world. Seriously, the people that send her money for this shit must be morons.
Of this situation. And all we can do is just do our best, pray for her family, pray for her daughter. People ask all the time, and I've talked to several people today, how can I help? Pray. If you can't physically be out here searching for her, pray. Pray for her. Pray for her family. Pray for answers. The power of prayer is amazing. It really, truly is. And it moves mountains. So let's move mountains. That's what we need to do right now. We need answers. And we just don't have it.
Let's move mountains.
So I don't really have much to say. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. It's hot. I got to say, Livia and I we've been up since.
I'm gonna complain at the beginning of the stream. Then I'm gonna complain about what we don't have because I'm a fucking idiot and there's no way I would have that. And then I'm gonna complain more about general bullshit.
7. Well, of course, I've been up since like 5, and she's been up since 7. But we got out of the. We went and had. No, she was up at like 6, and we were out of the house out of the room by 7:30. We were on scene by 8 a.m. this morning, and I got to tell you, by 3 o'clock this afternoon, we were both exhausted. It's the sun, it's the heat, the terrain wasn't too bad. I mean, there was a lot of bushes, there was a lot of high grass. I believe we came close to a snake. Not sure which snake it was because it didn't rattle. So, but we could hear it scurry. I think you guys even might have caught me on camera going. I don't know. We'll find out. I haven't even looked at the. So, but we could hear it scurry. I think you guys even might have caught me on camera going. I don't know. We'll find out. I haven't even looked. camera going. No camera going. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. I haven't even looked at the content. I had several cameras going. I had
such a child.
my body cam on. I had my
oh my god,
my cell phone going. Olivia had her cell phone going. So we have a lot of content related to the search. I'm going to put that out there, and for those that want to really look at that that footage, turn that footage upside down, see if we've missed anything. Sometimes we record stuff, we're looking at one thing, but the camera's capturing other stuff that we're not paying attention to or not noticing out there. So maybe whenever we have the footage come out, if you guys want to, play it, slow it down, look at it, put it in slow-mo, just,
y'all are killing me in the chat.
Do what you guys do best. And tear that video apart and make sure we didn't miss anything. I'm going to probably drop the search videos on the next video.
I'm gonna drop the search videos, and I'm gonna drop a deuce. And
I need to cool off. I'm actually just about cooled off. This pool was perfect. It was just perfect. So we're going to put that out first because I need any and everyone that wants to look at that footage. If you guys see anything that we missed, send me an email at bullhornbetty@gmail.com so we can go back and re-look at some stuff. So I'm going to try to get all the content out as possible, especially the search stuff. I need you guys to be looking at that footage. I'm going to be looking at it, but I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. It's kind of like
I'm going to be looking at it. I'm going to be reviewing the shit that I filmed because nobody does that.
Proofreading your own work, right? You're going to make mistakes no matter how many times you proofread it because it's your own work and you know what you were saying in it. So even when you read it and you see we and it's supposed to be were, you're reading it as were. So that's kind of the same thing with my video footage. Is I can watch it and rewatch it. Hopefully I can get some additional stuff out of it. But I know you guys watching it for the first time might be able to see a lot of key stuff right off the bat that was missed by me. So be sure to, if you guys do see something funky or need something, want something checked out or looked into, email me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you guys have a lead or you know somebody that might have some information, email me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If these people will not come forward, email me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And, maybe with a little, little nudge, maybe they'll turn the information over to law enforcement, but we need as much information going on. I was wondering why this seemed a little confusing, being out here, seeing law enforcement, realizing they moved down. There's no cameras. I think they're lost. Not lost like they're not competent enough to do the job. I would never say that. I just think they're lost. They
what? You would never say that law enforcement isn't competent enough to do their job? Didn't we just watch you fucking talk about how Hawkins County and the TBI are fucking too incompetent to do their job in finding Summer Wells? Didn't we just watch you fucking go on a rant about that? Like, come on, let's get real.
You're a little cunt.
Hey. We don't use that word here on The Glare.
You don't know what to do. There's nothing to help them. It's not their fault. They just have nothing. But somebody knows something, especially because I know she had to have left that parking lot with someone. I know that in my heart. I know that in my soul.
You don't know that, but I mean, it is the most logical thing, but you can't say that you know it. You don't know it. You don't have any fucking information. You just sat here fucking saying that you don't have a timeline. You don't have fucking anything. How the fuck do you know that? You don't know shit.
Boo! You suck.
Suck.
I just got to prove it. But I know she left that parking lot.
I gotta prove it.
Parking lot. And I know she's not in those woods behind that AmeriCorps hotel. I know that without a doubt. I know that because I personally searched that entire wood line. I personally, with Oblivia, and her and I weren't no more than 3 feet apart at any given time, well, except for one spot where I got her walking off.
Oh yeah, I mean, so you there were 3 of you, and you were never more than 3 feet apart searching, right? You like it never occurred to you to split up, because you guys got to make sure that you get each other in your content. You got to make sure that the camera gets you both, while you're filming this content. Of course, makes sense. Of course, but an effective search would be crazy to conduct an effective search by splitting up and covering more ground. Of course.
But that was for footage purposes. But we haven't been. If we would have found her, like with that tall grass, we had to pay extra close attention, because that tall grass can really hide somebody. Especially if they had like a medical
or a snake
emergency, and they just fell over. That it could happen. You never know. And so that tall grass would have hit her.
They already searched it, though. You dummy.
It would have hit her just fine. She would never have been able to see her. I can tell you that. So we went through all of that.
You need to shut the fuck
There
up.
is no, in my mind, because I searched it, there is no possibility of her being behind that area that we were at, behind the mirror court, where her.
Where do you get these fucking idiots, huh? Where do you get them?
There's no way that she's back there. Period. There's not. The haters channels can say I'm an idiot, whatever. I'm here. They're not, and I'm telling you, she's not back.
You're an idiot.
So you can believe them or you can believe me. I don't really care. But I'm telling you personally, I'm putting Bullhorn Betty Channel's name on it. She is not back there in those woods. So she had to have left. So where did she go?
You know how I know that she's not back there? Is because law enforcement, professionals already searched it. Dummy.
That's what we need to figure out. Where did she go? Anyways, guys, I'm here. I'm just going to take a lap back and forward. I'm hot. It's even right now, it's so bright and so hot, even with half my body in this water. My back is literally sweating.
Oh,
it's that hot. It's miserable out here. It's hot. You get a nice breeze here and there, but when you're in that dead sun and out there, Olivia just. It's so cold, she says, but refreshing. So tell them we needed this. Am I lying? Yeah. It was hot out there, wasn't it? Not like Florida, but it was.
Oh my God, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little rickety, a little rickety over here. I can't even see it. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, there you are. I see your face. Let's just go over. There you are. Hey everyone, how are you? So we're just cooling off, and then we got to get back to the room and get some work done. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. So guys, we are out here.
Work.
Do you believe she's talking about?
We got a lot of work to do.
No.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's not back in the woods, folks. She ain't back in the woods.
Wow.
I was wishing she was. I was hoping.
So she's not back in the woods because you guys were never 3 feet apart and you guys kind of looked in the woods. And that's why you're sure. Not because professionals went back there. Professional investigators, professional law enforcement agents went back there. Professional search and rescue went back there and searched the woods and didn't find anything before you were out there. Not because of that, because, that would be crazy. But because you guys went back there with no fucking common sense at all and didn't see anything. It's good to know.
Being that this case, would be just provide some research. But I truly feel in my heart and soul, she left. She left with somebody. She left with somebody from the We're gonna find answers. But she left that creamery. So anyways, guys, we're here. We're working very hard. We're taking a much needed break just to cool off from being out in the field. And we'll be getting back to the room and start getting this content out. Again, just look at everything, make sure we didn't miss anything. If you see something let us know so we can explore that before we leave here.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, say bye-bye. Bye, guys. I don't even know how to turn. I can't even see to turn. I can't even see to turn. Bye, guys. I can't hardly see to turn you guys off.
All right, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Yeah. So the usual bullshit Betty and Chronicles of Oblivious, hard at work doing jack shit. The usual. So, anyways, guys, again, if you have any information on the whereabouts or otherwise of Layla Santanello, the information is right here. And Cherry, post that number again. There's another number, but also, of course, there's 1-800-TBI find. So make sure to call that if you have any information on her whereabouts. She's white, female, 4'10", 135 pounds, blonde hair, brown eyes, last seen in a white tank top with leggings and barefooted. And yes, call 423-343-9780 if you have any information. They're going to follow up on every lead. Guys, I love you guys very much. I had a great time with you guys. Thanks to my diehards that are stuck with me. You guys, I'll never forget you, and I'm not going anywhere. I love you guys very much. And I think maybe Morbid might be going live tonight. So I hope to see you guys there. Because he's going to go over, I don't know what he's going to go over, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. So if Morbid's going live, I will repost it and make sure to check him out. And like I said, guys, I love you. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.